Hi crafty friends, this is Leah Lawson and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a cute card featuring the Fancy Diagonal Stripes die from Pinkfresh Studio. So I found something fun. If you take two of the cuts and if you just flip the top layer around, that bottom layer just peeks through a little bit underneath, and it's just a really fun way to layer this one die together and make it look a little bit different. Off camera, I adhered the two layers to a white card base with some spray adhesive, and as always, a little bit gets on the front, so I just use an adhesive remover to take that off. So for the sentiment, I am using this Hey Gorgeous die from Pinkfresh Studio, which is actually free this weekend with a $25 purchase, and you can get those details on my blog, which I will be sure to link down below in my description. So when I am die cutting from glitter paper, I always use a metal shim. And the reason for this is glitter paper is a little malleable, and I've just found when I don't use a shim, I have a really hard time extracting, especially a dainty die like this, from the sheet that I cut it from. So next, I'm die cutting the shadow, and this is 130-pound Cougar white cardstock from Cut Cardstock. And I am just using my Gemini Junior. Now this die can be used with pretty much any die cut machine out there. So I just suggest researching shims for the very dainty part of the inside of this word. So with everything done and everything extracted from, the paper that I cut it from, I am just stacking them together. To do that, I'm using a Zig glue pen. This is my go-to glue pen for stacking dies. It's got a chisel tip, and so it transfers glue to the back, especially those thin dies like this Hey Gorgeous one, and just makes it really, really easy to adhere very thin things like this together. Now I do use a sheet of scrap paper underneath because with a chisel tip, some glue does tend to transfer to what's underneath, and I try to keep that matte clean. So just some scrap paper or whatever you have on hand, you can use underneath that to save your surface, but it's a perfect glue for adhering especially thin dies like that together. So, I had so much of this card ready to go that now it's really time to start putting it together. So I am using foam tape, and I'm going to pop that Hey Gorgeous sentiment up off the card, and then I'm going to accent it with these florals. Now I'm using the Floral Elements stamps and dies from Pinkfresh Studio for this, and the reason why I didn't actually show you any of the coloring process is because I had that pre-done. I did it on a flight to Arizona, so I had pre-stamped and heat embossed in gold, and then I colored them in with my Zig Clean Color Wheel markers. So fun fact for you, you can absolutely take your Zig markers on the plane with you. They didn't question it. They didn't consider them a liquid. So it's a nice thing to be able to take with you. It gives you something to do. The guy that sat next to me told me at the end of the flight, he was like, I enjoyed watching you color those flowers in so much. It was so fun. So it's also, I guess, an interesting conversation piece. So at this point, I am just putting the card together. As I mentioned previously, I am popping the sentiment up with some foam tape that I just trimmed down into thin strips. You can also use the Doris thin foam strips. I'm trying to get rid of this roll of 3M foam tape, so why I just trimmed them down. So to adhere the flowers into each corner, for the bottom layer, I'm using Gina K Connect glue. You can use really any type of adhesive that you prefer. I do suggest a liquid glue because it gives you a little bit of time to fuss with it. You can, like I'm fluffing the leaves and the little rosebud there. And then once you put it down on your surface, you can take a little bit of time and move it if you need to. But once it's dry, it's a really, really strong bond. And whatever it is that you're gluing down isn't going to go anywhere. And that is a really important property of adhesive for me. So the top layer, I am just popping up with some foam adhesive, and just making sure to really secure it down so that it won't move. The final step for this card is I'm going to accent with some jewels. This is the Essentials Jewels Mix from Pinkfresh Studio. It comes in a set of 12 colors, and in each of those little canisters, there's about 3 teaspoons of jewels, and there are 3 sizes in each color. There's a big, a medium, and a small. And so I'm just arranging them in trios near the flowers, and I'm taking basically one size from each color, and then and then adhering them down with some mixed media glue. You could use the same Connect glue that I had used previously to adhere down the flowers. I kind of grab whatever is in front of me. And this happened to be in front of me. Now, I do like the fine applicator tip of this one. This is just it's ThermoWeb mixed media adhesive that I have transferred over into the Durace fine tipped applicator bottle. And it's kind of nice to have that really thin tip, especially when you are gluing down such a tiny little jewel. And the small jewels are pretty teeny. So it's really nice to have that fine applicator tip. So that is my card for you today. I hope that you enjoyed it. As I mentioned, this die is free with purchase or free with a $25 purchase this weekend at Pinkfresh Studio. And you can get all of those details on my blog. So thank you for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would love for you to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you don't already, as I have a lot of things in store for 2020. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day.